Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing this party look. It is inspired by my trip that I'm doing to Sydney this week. I'm heading over for the YSL Beauty Night Out and thought I would do a look that I might wear on one of the nights that I'm there. So I'm really excited, and if you want to learn how to do this look, then keep on watching. So to start off, I'm using my Maybelline Colour Tattoo 24-hour eyeshadow, and I use this as a base, and this is in the colour 30 Pomegranate Punk. And I like to just pop this down sometimes to apply a little bit of colour, so it makes the eyeshadow colour go on a little bit stronger, a little bit more pigmented. And I'm just using like a kabuki style eye brush to buff that onto the eyelid. Next, I'm going on to my brows, using a spoolie to brush them up and into place so they are under control, and using my MAC shadow in the colour Coquette and an angled brush, I'm just applying that to my brows in upward strokes, and just so they look natural, not too filled in and not too dominant, because I don't want the main focus to be on the brows. Just to clean up under the brows, I'm going to use my Maybelline Fitme concealer, and this is in the colour 25 medium. Just using a concealer brush to just tidy up those areas where there's a few stray hairs or it's just a little bit uneven. And to set the brows all in place, I'm going to use my Ardell Brow and Lash Growth Accelerator, which is a treatment gel. It's like a clear brow gel, and I'm just using it to make sure all the hairs are going in the same direction and they also don't drop down during the day. Picking up my Limecrime Venus 2 palette and using the Jam shade. It's like an orange shade, and I'm using a big fluffy brush to just blend that into my crease area, laying this down as a transition colour to make sure that the bronzy colours going on later will just blend in really nicely and there's no harsh lines. Then I'm going into my YSL Couture Variation palette in the colour 1NU, and I'm just picking up the highlight shade from the palette, it's just a lighter shade in there, and popping that under my brows just for a brow highlight. Then just using a fluffy brush to just make sure that is blended in with the transition colour. Picking up this sort of dark brown shade, I'm just popping that with a small tapered blending brush into the crease area on the outer V of the eye, just to bring some depth and definition to the eye. Using the brush to go on that outer V and just kind of blow it out a wee bit, and then dragging it just slightly under the outer edge of the eye as well. I'm just picking up more colour as I need it, just to make sure that it is opaque and really nice and deep on that outer V. And then grabbing that fluffy blending brush from the start again and just making sure they're all buffed together and there's no harsh lines. Taking the darkest shade in the palette, it's a very dark brown, and a pencil brush, I'm just applying it to the very outer corners of the eye, just to make sure there is some more definition and it's all blended in together. And again with the fluffy blending brush, just making sure all the colours are blended in well. And again with the Venus 2 palette and the orange jam colour, I'm just picking that up on the fluffy blending brush and just popping it back into the crease again to make sure that everything transitions well and that there are no harsh lines. Taking the peach colour from the palette, I'm just going to pop that on the inner corner of my eye with a small detailer brush. And then using a big fluffy blending brush that has no product on it at all, I'm just blending that into the inner corners, making sure that there's no line between my skin tone and the peach colour, and then going over all that eyeshadow to make sure everything is seamlessly blended. Picking up my MAC Copper Sparkle pigment. These pigments are amazing, they last forever, I've barely made a dent in this, and I use it all the time. I'm just using that small detailer brush to just pop down the colour and just add some layers until it's all as opaque as I like and as sparkly and coppery as I like. If you're wondering about the contacts I'm wearing, they're from MISAKI. They are a beautiful contact lens, very comfortable. These are their new Pro series in green, and I'll have a code below if you want to check them out. Taking my Master Graphic Liner from Maybelline. I like this because it is tapered to a point, and it is on an angle, so I find it easy to get as much precision as I want when I'm drawing a line across the top of my lash line. Using my YSL liner, this is a waterproof eye pencil and it's just in a black colour, and I'm just popping this up into my tight line and into my waterline as well. This liner is definitely waterproof, it's very creamy, it goes on really easily and it doesn't come off throughout the day, especially because it's in your waterline, which is a nice feature. Grabbing my MAC eyelash curler, I'm not going to curl my lashes to the extreme, I just wanted a little bit of a curve in them because they are so straight, and I find if I don't do that then my fake eyelashes don't blend in very well. Using my Minx 2.0 Socialeyes lashes, these are amazing lashes, they always get lots of compliments. I'm just applying them with a black lash glue, which I use when I have done like a dark liner. Just helps the lashes blend in more with the lash line and your false lashes. Using my favourite mascara at the moment, this is the Lancome Hypnose Doll Eyes Waterproof Mascara, and I'm just popping that onto my lashes to help them blend in with the falsies, just on the top layer at the moment. Grabbing a makeup wipe, these are Neutrogena ones, I love these, they're my favourite. Just using that to clean up under the eye area, any fallout, any glitter, any copper sparkle that's under my eyes, and also just sharpening that eyeshadow line as well. This is the YSL Touche Eclat Blur Primer, and I'm just applying this directly to my face, and it's a really smoothing primer. It will just help your foundation glide on really smoothly. It's got little gold particles in it as well, which kind of give off a sort of luminous glow, I suppose. I'm just using my fingers to rub that in. This is the YSL Fusion Ink Foundation, and I think I have found my new favourite foundation. I just couldn't believe how beautifully it went on. The coverage was flawless. It was just so silky and smooth. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to stop using this anytime soon. But I was just experimenting with how to apply it. So I first applied it with my damp beauty blender, and I found this went on really nicely just for like a sheer coverage. And then I applied it with my brush, and honestly I think you can even see the difference. You can see how beautiful the coverage is, how luminous it is, how dewy it looks, and how smooth it looks. It's just incredible. I'm in love with it. It's pretty awesome. For some extra coverage just underneath my eyes, I'm using my Maybelline Fitme concealer again, and it's in the shade very similar to my skin tone, maybe a tad lighter. But this is just to give me some extra coverage around the areas where I might have, just darker circles and discoloration. And I'm just patting that in with my kabuki style brush. Next up, I'm using my Touche Eclat highlighting pen from YSL. And this is the first time I'd used this one. My old one had dried up, so I'm just clicking the end to make sure the product comes out. And then I'm just applying it to highlight under my eyes, a little bit down my nose, a little bit on my forehead, cupid's bow, and on the chin as well. And then just using that same kabuki style brush to just pat the product in. This is a beautiful product. It really just illuminates under the eyes. I'm sure you've heard of it before. It just really brightens without being too bright under the eyes, which I don't really like to be too highlighted under there. So it just gives a nice natural radiance. Next up is another exciting product to try. This is the Do the Hula liquid bronzer from Benefit. This is the first time I'd used it also. It's a soft matte liquid bronzer for the face, and it just comes out like a foundation, like in a wee pump, and then I'm just applying it with my kabuki style brush again. I like to use the same brush that I've applied my foundation and concealer with because it just makes sure it all blends in seamlessly. And I think this is a beautiful bronzer. It's really nice for a light to medium skin tone. I would say that if you were any deeper than that, it probably wouldn't work as well. This is my Parisian Blush Coloured Cheek Cream in the colour 01 Coral de Ville, which is from Lancome. It's from their spring collection. It's so nice. It's like a really spongy texture in the container. I think you can apply it with your fingers for a really natural flush, but I sort of prefer to apply it with the brush just so I can get some more control when I apply it. This is my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm grabbing the yellow shade just to apply under my eyes using a tapered brush and just patting it under there so that any cream products I've applied under my eyes won't crease and the coverage will be a little bit extra, so it covers up any darker circles. My Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation powder, just using a big fluffy brush to set everything in place and make sure it won't move. Taking my contour shade from the Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D, I'm just applying that with my contour brush just underneath the cheekbones and down the sides of my nose for a slimmer appearance. And just using the middle contour shade from the Shade and Light palette, I'm just going to use it on a blush brush and apply it as I would apply my bronzer. Favourite highlighter at the moment, my Black Cosmetics Golden Glow Illuminator. You've seen me use this in my tutorials before. Just using this on a big fan brush to apply it to the top of my cheekbones, the high points of my face, so down the bridge of my nose, a wee bit on my temples and my cupid's bow as well. And using the same product just on a really small brush, I'm just going to pop that over top of that peach in the inner corner of my eye to brighten the area up. I was feeling like it was looking a little bit dull and needed to be brightened. Back into that orange colour from the Venus 2 palette by Limecrime, and on a pencil brush I'm just going to apply that underneath my eyes to finish off the eye makeup, just to blend out that black liner in the waterline as well. Back in with my YSL palette and picking up that darker brown shade again, I'm going to run this underneath my eyes as well to transition into the orange shade, and then also grab the darkest shade from the palette and run that under there as well, just to make sure everything looks seamless, it all ties in together and looks like the upper lid. Just grabbing a fluffy blending brush, this had like hardly any product at all, and just running that under the eyes to make sure they're all blended together and it's nice and smoked out under the lash line. Now for the lips, one of my favourite products at the moment. This is the YSL Rouge Volupté Shine in the shade 41. And I love these, they're just so juicy and creamy and a nice change to a matte lipstick, and just popping that all over the lips without lip liner. And that's the final look, guys. I hope you like this party inspired look. I will be attending the YSL Beauty Night Out in Sydney this week, and I will have lots of photos and videos to show you from the night. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. Share the video if you liked it, it really helps get my videos out there, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, bye!